This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where we all get together and gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I, and sometimes Saturn and sometimes Oates, decide we don't feel like playing anything, so we just watch something and talk over it instead. And $2 is the grab bag tier. It's everything that isn't in the $5 tier. It is every other kind of bonus material. In this case, the most recent one would be us getting mad at Silent Hill, the short message, which was not good.
Which was not good at all.
It was not good. It was almost good. It came extremely close to being like, oh, this is passable. And then at the very end, it became quite bad. So that's $2. You get all kinds of other fun stuff too. So yeah, that's patreon.com/thegorge. Thanks.
So it's been a couple weeks.
It has been.
It's been a hot minute.
What has everyone been up to?
I feel like there's a significant risk of this being maybe the shortest one of these that has been on the show in a long time.
Yeah.
I'll get started. I ain't been doing jack for shit.
The thing is, we've all been playing Rebirth together. Right? The problem is that it's like we've all been doing one thing together at the same time. So the answer to all of us is, well, what have you been doing? Well, we've been watching Ben play the new immaculate super game of our generation, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
It's really good, and I'm afraid to talk about it now because we are not done with it yet.
No, yeah,
it could somehow become really bad.
I highly doubt that, but I guess anything is possible. Sure.
But I guess also, if we think it's really good now, we should air our thoughts about it being really good in case we are betrayed and left in the Crystal Time Prison.
So
no, I disagree, because I would much rather have
the betrayal.
Well, the betrayal episode, dedication.
Well, we will. We'll get the betrayal episode if there is one.
There won't be. This is going to maintain this level of quality. I would be stunned if it didn't.
I've seen too many people disparagingly call this Kingdom Hearts bullshit, so I know it's going to be good.
Well, they already called the first one Kingdom Hearts bullshit as well, so and I liked the way that one ended.
Yeah.
So, it sucks to suck. I think the ending of Rebirth is probably going to be good.
I've only heard two comments about this game so far, and it is they did indeed bottle it, or oh my god, there's so many good mini games in here.
Yeah, that's right.
It's bursting with mini games.
It is full to the teeth with multifarious different kinds of mini games, and really I'm impressed by it. I'm impressed with how many of the mini games just seem to be, we took assets from Final Fantasy XIV and put them in this video game, but also I respect it. Right?
Call this game Duke Nukem Forever, the way A, it's full of mini games, and B, no one thought it would ever come out.
That's right. Except unlike Duke Nukem Forever, it's good.
It's good.
Bad. It's actually a good video game instead of a video game that Ben shamefully owns the Duke Nukem bust from.
I've been thinking a lot about No More Heroes recently, I will say. I guess I'll talk a little bit about random things, whatever. Because I've been thinking about No More Heroes recently, because I picked up No More Heroes 3 on Steam sale. And I think it is the funniest detail about No More Heroes 1, that the one thing in it that is extraordinarily dated is that there is a Duke Nukem Forever joke that is meant to be understood as being in reference to a game that was never going to come out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it's great. There's a bit where the final assassin Travis asks the final assassin about her backstory, and she says, "It would take too long. You don't want this to become No More Heroes Forever, do you?"
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's good.
And there's also an extremely good bit of that where it's like, Vera's like, okay, but no, do tell me the backstory. And then the game literally fast forwards through it, and you see like his reactions to horrible things she's saying in fast forward. But if you unfast forward the clip, there is quite literally voice acted dialogue and actual writing there.
Yeah.
They have just in-game decided to fast forward through it.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's the decision of an insane person. I love that.
Sudagoichi is irreplaceable. I wish someone would let him make video games that had a budget, but also maybe it's for the best that they don't, because he keeps making insane garbage.
Yeah, I genuinely think it is for the best that he not get a Hideo Kojima budget, because we already have Hideo Kojima.
Right.
Can we just give him platinum once? Like Yoko Taro got there, right? We can let Sudagoichi have that. Please.
I think my argument to be made here is that, like, half of his jokes are about, oh, this is the shortcut I had to make because of budgets. And if you give him a budget, he loses all of his material.
That's right. Like, all of his jokes are that I'm so poor.
He just becomes he's just like, all right, well, you gave me $100 million. I'm going to make a one-to-one video game adaptation of a Takeshi Miike movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which actually might be kind of goated.
Yeah, there's
the movie, the game.
Yeah. Yeah, holy shit.
There are several jokes in No More Heroes 2 that are Travis getting mad that someone beat the bosses for him.
Because they just didn't have the budget for those bosses. Yeah.
Travis gets knocked out at one point and he wakes up and Henry reveals he killed 3 of the assassins and he's like, come on, man. I was gonna do that.
There's also because like the whole joke of No More Heroes 2, right? It's like the first game was a top 10, this one's a top 100. There are like 2 or 3 bosses where it's just like you see dozens of people just get flatlined instantly that were all respective bosses.
It is the top 50 assassins, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
The second boss battle is with a football player and his cheerleading team, and that knocks out like 25 members of the league.
That's so funny.
And then the other one is like you're in like a death battle with like 10 or 15 other assassins, and then Let's Shake from the first game shows up and just kills everyone with psychic earthquake attacks.
So they go to like a sports arena. Travis goes to like a sports arena for the thing, but there's no one around, and he's just standing outside the door. And it's like a montage of him like waiting for like an hour, and he finally goes and opens the door and sees the last 2 assassins killing each other.
Great, fantastic.
Oh man!
We ran out of money. The video game. I see. Great.
The point is, they did not run out of money in FF7 Rebirth.
No, FF7 Rebirth seems to have been made with infinite money.
Infinite wealth, perhaps.
Except for the fact that they still can't seem to make Unreal Engine make the textures do good.
I don't know if you've seen it during the stream, because I know the Discord quality gets crunched a little bit. Mm-hmm. The temporal AA in that game is bad.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So bad.
There's a lot of ghost ladders when we're doing those towers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of why I'm waiting for PC, is because like I abhor temporal AA. Like that shit's just really there are so few games that can do that and work, because like you have to you have to tweak the temporal AA solution really specifically to your specific game. And also it's like, hey, if you have any transparency on the screen, it is just going to turn into a smear.
Yeah,
right.
It's just like I turn that shit off every time I can, which makes it really annoying that the PS5 generation is full of games. It's like, hey, we have temporal AA, and it's like, why
though? I spent $500 on this box that makes video games look good, and you keep putting shit in the video game that makes it look bad instead of good. Have you considered making it just look good?
What's your problem?
Why are you doing it like this?
I think a lot about how Immortals of Avium purportedly A, had temporal AA that was really bad, but B, ran at 480p on Xbox Series X.
Cool.
And it's like, great, so it looks like it's just smearing Vaseline all over the screen. Like, what am I doing here?
I love that. No, I've been, because Ben is the one playing Rebirth, so I can't play Rebirth. I've been playing Remake instead on my PC. And I am pleased to report that they did finally fix the fucked up door texture clip.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was apparently with Intergrade. They did.
Yeah, so I'll be able to actually play Rebirth when it comes out on PC, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, no. This game is like, it has so much money, and yet Unreal Engine continues to stick its nasty little toes into things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be like, we never fixed our texture problems,
I'm convinced that the fucked up way that they stream textures on Unreal Engine must at this point just be load bearing.
It's gotta be, because we've had the same texture pop in
since Mass Effect 2.
Since Mass Effect 1, yeah.
Yeah,
since Mass Effect 1. It was even worse than Mass Effect 1. Unreal Engine 3 is dog shit.
You would just go like half a minute.
Yeah,
before the ground texture, the armor texture would pop in fully.
Yeah.
Every time I play Warframe and have like a weird texture streaming thing, I'm like, but this isn't Unreal, is it? And then I remembered that it's made, that the in-house engine is made by people who were architects of Unreal. And it's okay. The rot is structural, I see.
There's no escaping it.
It's kind of like how the Bethesda engine can't go fast, otherwise it shits itself to death.
And ladders just make it just terrify it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to do this thing. It's kind of like that, where like the load bearing part of Unreal is that your textures are always going to load bad. Sorry, that's the price you pay.
Nothing is more intimidating than broken lighting cloud.
Yeah. Oh, he's so ugly.
He's so made of clay.
He's so made of clay, and you just get to Junon, you get to under Junon, and the lighting just shits itself to death, and you're just like, okay.
Well, we won't spend long in here, I guess.
I waited 4 years for this, but okay.
It's fine. The rest of the game is immaculate, so...
The rest of the game is immaculate, so it's perfectly fine. They finally fixed the dodge button, so who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, they're going in directions that I did not expect them to go in. I still don't know what's going on with Zach and everything with that whole mess.
All that shit.
But no, it's really, really good. It feels great to play. Every character feels good so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like playing as Aerith, but she plays well.
Right. And like... Yeah, no, I'm just the problem is that the game is impossible to talk about until we're finished with it.
Yeah.
And we sequester it to its own episode. Because
or
5. Because like everything I want to talk about is like, well, that's a spoiler, and that's a spoiler. And that's also a spoiler.
Also, I don't feel qualified to talk about the events of the game yet.
Because I don't necessarily know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, exactly.
It would be weird for us to like do a whole recording where we talked about things that you all are expecting from the ways things went in the last game, and we get to the episode and it's just like, damn, I can't believe Sephiroth got he pussy out in this one. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. It could even be a boat.
It could even be a boat. Exactly.
It could even be a plane or a train or an automobile.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mostly been it for you guys, right?
That's basically been it.
Yeah, I've been dinking around. I've been making fungal space elves and GURPS the last couple of days. That's been a source of entertainment for me. That's a
good use of your time, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting my writing, my brain juices flowing again, which is fun. But like, I haven't really been playing a lot of video games or watching much or anything like that. So yeah, that's it for me.
Go ham, Chief.
Well, I've done a couple things besides 7 Rebirth. I finally finished Infinite Wealth, like for good.
Yay!
Wrapped up the Big Swell DLC. Did like all the sub stories and all the Kiryu memories and stuff. I technically do have like a little bit more of like Sujimon and Dondoko Island stuff that I can do, but I'm not like super invested in that, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the Big Swell DLC was great. So the way it worked for me was that once you finish the game, you can wander around both Ijinsho and Hawaii with the entire cast, so all 10 members of the party.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, before I started the Big Swell DLC for real, I was like, well, there's like a 3-level disparity between Ichiban's crew and Kiryu's crew. So I might as well do a little bit more grinding to balance that out. So I did that for a couple days.
Right.
And got everyone nice and even leveled.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started tackling the actual dungeon for the Big Swell, I realized that, so the way it works for jobs is that you earn skills in that job up to level 30, and then it just kind of becomes stat boosts after that. And since the stat boosts don't carry over if you switch classes, there's not really any reason to stay on one particular class past 30.
Right.
So I would do a floor of the Big Swell, because it's like a Persona dungeon where you just clear the floor and then you move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd clear a floor of the Big Swell, and then I'd be like, oh, well, since the Big Swell is so high leveled, everyone's now at level 30 in their classes. I might as well leave, switch everyone's class, and then come back and do it again.
I see.
So I did get everyone's classes to level 30.
I see.
And while I'm doing that, I'm like, well, everyone unlocks their final, like the ability to equip a final essence skill at level 100 of their bond. And everyone's at level like 80-ish right now.
So you did also got everybody's to level 100?
I might as well go to the cabaret clubs and get everyone up to level 100 on that. Now I can finally tackle the Big Swell. And because I did all this, I was like 7 levels higher than I should have been to tackle the Big Swell.
So you trivialized it, is what you're
So I
me.
curb stomped it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay.
So in between every like segment of the Big Swell, they basically do what I realized was Persona gags, but better. Where it's like the boys will do something stupid and the girls will react to something stupid. But it was better written because there was no hot springs involved.
That's correct.
No one was being violently homophobic or transphobic in the script?
Yeah.
Huh.
Could you imagine?
It's like, wow, okay, so you could have just been doing this the whole time, huh?
We'll know for sure when Metaphor Refantasio comes out.
Yes, that will be the final test.
The final test of, is it P-Team or is it just Hashino? Or I guess rather, is it Sega or is it just... No, I guess he left P-Team to go make this... I guess it'll be a test of if it's Hashino or not. Because if it's Hashino or not, then we know who to throw rocks at.
Well, Saturn, we also can't blame Sega either, because you know what Sega just did? Yakuza.
That's true.
They're the same. So the thing that really set me off with this being Persona but better is that you get to the final floor, the final boss of the Big Swell. I feel like was supposed to be a parody of final bosses of Persona games.
Okay.
Because you're fighting you're mostly throughout the Big Swell, you're fighting echoes of former rivals that you fought before in this game. Like you fought like a weird ghost echo of Saejima, Dojima, and Majima, and you fight echoes of the final 2 bosses together. So it feels kind of Persona-esque in that regard, like you're fighting shadows.
Yeah.
And the final boss of it is a big creature that comes out of nowhere and is an eldritch dyadic being that is like the representation of an emotion of humanity.
Okay.
So kind of like Amano Sagari, or Nyx or something, right?
Does this happen in the text of the narrative?
Yeah. They just go down and they fight, and it's a giant golden squid.
Okay.
And we know it's not Ichiban being crazy because everyone else can see the giant talking golden squid. And the emotion that the giant talking golden squid represents is toxic gamers. And it's mad at humanity for doing things like writing reviews of games they've never played or harassing people who like games.
Yakuza really is the most Gintama video game franchise to exist.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not? This
And when
may as well
they-
be happening.
And when they finish the fight, they just go, well, that was weird. Anyway, let's go get some steaks.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So, absolutely delightful. My favorite of the vignettes that they do is one where the girls volunteer to cook for the guys because they're sick of going to out to restaurants for dinner all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, okay, guys, go do some good old Hawaiian fishing and get us some good Hawaiian seafood for dinner. Guys go out and fishing, and they're not catching anything except Kiryu, who catches a porn mag that's wrapped in plastic.
Uh-huh.
And so they're like, we need to take a break. We're not getting anything here. And this group of 40-plus-year-old men just kind of gather around the porn mag.
Like a bunch of kids who found one in the woods.
Like the monkeys in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Like guards in Metal Gear Solid.
And they're just kind of crouching with it on the ground and flipping through the pages and just kind of muttering about what kind of girl they like. And it gets to nighttime.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, shit. We don't have anything. And Ichiban goes, don't worry, I can fix this. So they call for delivery from the Crazy Taxi delivery minigame. And they try to pass it off as their own catch because they order just like whole tunas. And they're like, haha, look, we caught, look at all the food we caught. And Psycho looks at them and they're like, those are frozen, you idiots.
Sure, okay.
So, and then the porn mag falls out of Kiryu's back pocket.
Uh-huh.
And then immediately the girl's like, okay, I see what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I get it.
So Sony's lecturing them and she's like, listen, you know, I understand you guys, but I really expected better out of you, Kiryu. And Kiryu's like, you shouldn't.
That was your mistake, not mine.
Yeah.
You were the one who with expectations. You shouldn't have had any. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I just wanted to be spicy and lend a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, yeah, it's a fucking fantastic game. I can't wait for the next one, whatever their plans are for Yakuza 9.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I do? I think I started a show.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've heard of this show back in the 90s.
Ben, don't beat around the bush.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of obscure. It didn't really make any splashes with media in the future or
definitely
anything.
Didn't drive everybody on the planet insane for the
by
rest
this-
of like the rest of reality, right?
By this guy named David Lynch.
You bitch.
It's called like Double Hills or something.
Yeah,
or
for sure, dude.
Silent
for
Hill?
sure.
Silent Hill. That's it. Yeah, it's called Silent
it's
Hill.
definitely Silent Hill. Like they made a Silent Hill TV show.
I thought that was I thought some guy named Mac Forrest was responsible for that.
Yeah, he made that one Zelda game.
Yeah.
Yeah, all by himself he did.
Yeah. I started Twin Peaks.
You started Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
You
Melissa-
started Twin Peaks. Congratulations, you did it.
We were driving home from a thing we were at over the weekend, and we were like, you know, it's still early in the day. Like, do you want to watch anything? And we're like, yeah, we could watch some more like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something, or just kind of chill. And I'm like, do you want to watch Twin Peaks with me?
Yeah.
Like, I've been meaning to start it, and I'm like, we could probably just start it and see how we like it. And we ended up watching the entire first season in a single afternoon.
Yeah. What's up?
I have some thoughts and some theories about what's going on.
Ooh, I want to hear your theories. I think that's fun.
For clarity, what episode did y'all end up getting to?
We are on season 2 episode. We finished episode 3 today.
Okay.
So I think someone killed Laura Palmer.
Do you really think someone killed Laura Palmer? Are you sure?
I think that's what happened.
Yes.
I know who killed Laura Palmer. Laura
Palmer?
I don't
remember. I lost it. I almost fell out of the couch laughing.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So who? What did she say? I don't remember.
The best part about that episode, by the way, about that gag, is that the episode ends on a dramatic sting with Dale Cooper saying over the phone, "I know who killed Laura Palmer."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the next episode. And the next time we see Dale talking to Harry, it's like, well, who did it? He's like, I don't remember. And it's like, okay.
The thing that caught me off guard about Twin Peaks, that I didn't expect, is that they're all crazy.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
That's correct. That is the thing.
I did not expect the dynamic between Dale and Harry to immediately be, I will hang on your every word, Agent Dale Cooper.
That's right, because Harry S. Truman is in love with Dale Cooper. Yeah.
You were expecting like a comic duo where one was the funny guy and one was the straight man.
Right.
What I expected.
This is 100% like a Hallmark movie setup for like the stuck in his ways kind of materialistic city boy comes out to the country and has to, there's like a clash of cultures, but no, it's just immediate. It's just like he's like this alien who loves all humanity.
Yeah, what I expected out of the dynamic was that there would be a lot of friction between Dale and the police, the station, like in general, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's like, here's this weird guy sniffing around, and he talks about dreams and theories and conspiracies, and they're like, but we're stuck with it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When Dale tells him about his dream that he had. Mm-hmm. I was not at all expecting Harry to be like, yes, this is a legitimate thing that we should investigate.
we're just gonna listen to Cooper, sure.
Yeah. When he talks about having been visited by a giant, he is like, yeah, okay, that tracks.
It owns. It's the funniest gag about Twin Peaks is that you're expecting, because like every show that ever came out after Twin Peaks did the FBI agent shows up to a small town and the small town antagonizes the FBI agent, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like the trope. But no, Twin Peaks is like, no, that's not funny. It should be funny if like the cops just kind of go along with FBI guys' whole like weird proclivities about how to solve crimes by throwing rocks and having dreams,
And
there was earlier in the Discord, we were talking a bit in shit posts about TV tropes, right?
Yes.
Specifically, there's one that is no longer called this, which much to my annoyance, but the TV tropes at one point called this Seinfeld is unfunny. Yeah. Which is this concept that Seinfeld, of its time, was relatively remarkable and like genre shifting for its style of sitcom. But everything copied everything that it did so thoroughly that if you go back to Seinfeld, having experienced all those other sitcoms, it feels kind of quaint and simple. Sure. And like, there's other things that have this. Like, I personally end up having this feeling for like Neon Genesis Evangelion, because like, whether you like it or not, there's a lot of things that took those ideas and ran with them, such that like, if you were to go to it for the first time after watching a ton of other modern mech stuff, you'd be like, wow, people were crazy about this?
Yeah, like, oh, that was it?
Twin Peaks is one of the things where everything has attempted to do that to it, but because no one understands what parts of it are actually good, no one has managed to successfully Seinfeld is unfunny yet.
That's correct.
No, it still stands up, and it's part of, and I'll go into this, because I have a news article here that I can go more in depth about this with. Because people who imitate Twin Peaks, like, you think about Silent Hill, you think about Alan Wake, or
Deadly Premonition,
or Persona 4, or Diamond is Unbreakable even. they are drawing inspiration from Twin Peaks, but they are not doing the specific things that Twin Peaks does with its narrative,
right,
that makes it stand out. They're taking ideas and concepts from it, but they're not like, they're not doing it the way David Lynch did with Twin Peaks.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
To borrow an Umineko-ism briefly, they are not copying the heart of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Like they don't quite get the whole, and like some of them are not trying to do it intentionally. They're not intentionally. I guess what I'm trying to say is they're not trying to copy the whole plate, right? Like they're not trying to take every element from it.
Like for Silent Hill and Alan Wake especially, like those two are also like very much doing like Stephen King fiction as well. And then, Alan Wake 2's also got a little bit of like True Detective season 1 or whatever in there, according to Sam Lake and whoever else. And like a lot of them aren't trying to do that, but then it's like you look at like Mizurna Falls or the one that we all know more, Deadly Premonition, that are more obviously trying to just do Twin Peaks, but missing something very crucial.
And I think part of it is a lot of these things, like that we just listed, are the fact that they're leaning more heavily into the supernatural aspect of it in a more visceral way than Twin Peaks does. I mean, as far as I know, I don't know. Shit could go hog wild. I'm only on season 2.
Wow.
I don't know.
You'll find out.
You'll find out.
Dale could go to another world. I don't fucking know.
There's a lot of show left.
There's a ton of show left. I was like,
there's a lot of Twin Peaks left is the thing.
It's the fucking Gargoyles thing of like season 1, 9 episodes. Season 2, 65.
Yeah.
Like,
and not to its benefit.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so season 1 is like this 9-part, mini series. Each episode is an hour long. All right, cool. Season 2, 22.
Yeah.
Not to foreshadow anything, but I think upon reflection, I think the thing that could have saved Twin Peaks in all of its seasons, which season 1 gets right, season 2 and The Return kind of struggle with, the movie we leave out because it's a movie, is if every one of them had just been 8 or 9 episodes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like I love season 2 and The Return a lot. They both could have benefited from being 8 or 9 episodes.
That's correct. You could have. They should have ended Twin Peaks season 2 at episode 9, but they didn't. It keeps going for some reason.
It is funny because I'm watching it and I'm just seeing like, oh, that's where that came from. There it is. Like the entire characters of like Bobby, James, and Donna, and all of them. It's like, oh, that's the teenagers from Stranger Things. That's just that entire dynamic is just them.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
I see
really
it now.
Blatant. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think part of it too is like Twin Peaks isn't just like the show that revolutionized like liminal space fiction, like realistic supernatural stuff, right? It is also very significantly revolutionized the soap opera, period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Riverdale wouldn't be Riverdale if it weren't for Twin Peaks.
It's literally
absolutely
true.
But yeah, no, I'm obsessed with it. So the funny thing is, we finished season 1 in a night. We went to bed. We got up the next morning. We started season 2. And then I go out and get some groceries before noon and whatnot. I'm coming back home. And I walk in the door and Melissa's like, okay, so I think there's cocaine in the water.
You left her alone for 45 minutes, and she's coming up with corkboard theories.
And it's so funny because she is desperate. She is desperately clinging to the idea that there is no supernatural element in Twin Peaks. And I'm like, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, honey.
Exactly.
This is sorry. David Lynch.
No, baby girl.
Which is unreal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There are ghosts in this town.
I got wonderful news for her, Ben. There probably isn't coke in the water, but I am sure there's a lot of ganja in the water. That's why they act like that.
There's something in the water up there for sure.
I've been to places like Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
I should know.
Because she's like, the cocaine is so important. It's so important. They keep talking about it. There's gotta be everyone is on drugs. Because Dale only started hallucinating these things when he arrived in the town. And I'm like, no, this is David Lynch.
No, I promise you, he also was not. This did not start before he got to Twin Peaks. I promise you.
Regrettably, she needs to look at this with the lens of this is the thing that Alan Wake both games have been copying.
Yeah,
the Knuckle
I'm
one,
like,
right?
I'm like, you watched us stream Alan Wake, and Alan Wake is directly inspired by this. So, but it's just funny.
Witches are real.
Because she's like, I don't want the mystery to be ghosts, and I'm like, the mystery isn't important.
Wait, also
it's also not really ghosts. It's more complicated than that.
Also, didn't Melissa watch Gravity Falls with you?
No, I never finished Gravity Falls.
Oh.
Well, Gravity Falls actually has a really, I forget if I mentioned it on the podcast, has an extremely funny relationship with Twin Peaks, which is that when it started coming out, everyone's like, oh, it's Twin Peaks cartoon show. And Alex Hirsch at one point is like, well, no, it's not Twin Peaks. It's based off name of local show that he watched. And then he realized with horror that local show he watched was itself a ripoff of Twin Peaks. And it was like, oh fuck, I guess I have to watch Twin Peaks now.
Great.
I'm gonna call this foreshadowing for later in the podcast, in this episode, but Twin Peaks is the Dragon Ball of Western television.
That's correct.
I believe
it just gets its fingers all over the place.
I believe I have in this podcast referred to it as the Neon Genesis Evangelion of Western television as well.
Yeah.
Similar strata.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just because when it came out, it basically like completely redid everybody's brain to make TV very differently.
Mm-hmm.
Dale is my favorite character. Dale and Audrey are the best characters.
That's correct.
Albert's fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, Miguel Ferrero.
Albert is so much fun.
Miguel Ferrero, we love you.
Bobby is one of the most divisive characters I've ever seen in anything.
I hate Bobby.
I love Bobby.
The response between me and Oates.
I've gone from rooting for Bobby to begging him to get his ass kicked in the span of a single episode.
Bobby is the Nero Tolskeva of Twin Peaks.
Exactly. So it's not that you love him; it's you love to hate him.
That's right. Bobby sucks.
He's a Starscream if there ever was one.
It's like I can root for Bobby in comparison to other characters that are worse than Bobby.
The thing about Bobby that works for me is that Bobby is like, it's the era of TV where everyone smokes cigarettes and is like 28 years old playing high schoolers. But he is like the one high schooler in that cast who is convincingly just kind of a shithead teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at Bobby Briggs and you can be convinced that guy is 16 and doesn't have a license yet.
And has no idea what he's doing with his life. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. By the way, Ben, Shelly, Bobby's girlfriend, that is Betty Cooper's mom in Riverdale.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's Alice Cooper.
That's you make that casting, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very funny to just be like, we're making our Riverdale show that is like almost explicitly kind of a knockoff of Twin Peaks, but like if the CW made Twin Peaks instead, we're going to just cast somebody from Twin Peaks to make it obvious. It's really funny.
The entire sheriff's department is great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're all good.
All of them. Yeah, all of them are great.
They're all good. Everybody's good.
Yeah, every character in this is phenomenal.
They're a delight. I know.
Have you met Bobby's dad yet? I forget.
Mm-hmm. Major Briggs.
Yeah, Major Briggs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I love Major Briggs.
I love Major Briggs. He's so good.
He's he gives his son a firm handshake.
Yeah,
right.
He's so good. I love him.
I think constantly recently of this post that's like, my body is filled with microplastics. My body is filled with things like love and happiness and human connection. They will save me from the microplastics. And then it's just with a picture of Major Briggs.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. In a perfect world, Bobby would be best friends with Dermot from the Venture Brothers.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Dermot is just Bobby, but with like a bottomed out charisma slider.
That's right.
just like everything in the Venture Brothers, every parody character, it's just this character without any of the charisma.
That's right.
We never really got a whole lot of Twin Peaks in the Venture Brothers, did we?
I'm sure it's there, and we just weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If we were to rewatch Venture Brothers now, I'm sure Sara could see it.
It really isn't there too much, honestly. Making the comparison from Dermot to Bobby is kind of like the biggest thing that
I wouldn't be surprised if there are some references in there, but like they're not as explicit as like the old cartoon and comic book references, right?
Right.
You're more
and also,
likely
it's
to
a
get
lot harder
general...
to do actor stunt casting for Twin Peaks. Just because this is not a spoiler knowledge or anything like that. But like literally like a year or two after the original run of Twin Peaks has ended, at that point, a significant amount of the cast have died tragically young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for hither or thither reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't like. There's people who it's like you can't just go like, oh, I want to get that guy in my cartoon show. It's like, well, you can't. He died in like 1998.
I am because all the voices in Twin Peaks are so distinctive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up the voice. I'm looking up the actors, and I'm like, okay, what cartoon that I grew up with are they in that I've heard this voice before? And surprisingly, not a lot.
No, yeah. The only one I can say that you would recognize just as like reference thing for, because you said you did watch at least some of Gravity Falls, right?
Yeah.
Bill, did you ever get to meet Bill Cipher?
Yeah.
Bill Cipher is explicit. I believe he is voiced by Alex Hirsch, but he is specifically doing an impression of Gordon Cole.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm obviously loving it. We're gonna keep squeezing episodes in when we can, getting that all underway.
Show's fun. I'm excited for you to go through it.
I love a quirky detective guy.
The quirky detective guy.
Yeah. But that's about it, really. Yeah, I'm still playing a little bit more of Another Cove. That game is a cozy 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say about it. Like, it's not super compelling. It's not super engaging. It's not revolutionizing the noir mystery game genre. But it's pretty comfy. So, that's about it.
Okay, then. Hit us with the news.
All right. So, last time, we had a pretty rough news week.
That's right.
This is better.
That doesn't
by some definition, at least.
Yeah. Respawn's Star Wars FPS is canceled, but work will continue on the next Jedi game, Black Panther, and Iron Man.
Okay.
I don't really care for those.
The layoffs continue.
I don't really care for those Star Wars Dark Souls that much. It kind of burns my ass to know it's like, no, you can't even get an original Star Wars game made in 2024.
Yeah.
You just have to make more of the same shit you already make. And you'll get laid off too at the same time. Like, it's bad.
Yeah. So, not great. We're at over 8,000 layoffs so far in 2024.
Yay!
Cool.
I love that.
Next, McDonald's Australia is getting a Multiverses collab despite the game still being shut down.
Yeah.
We did get something of an update on that though, didn't we?
They're trying to bring it back and act like it's finally out of open beta, which wasn't an open beta. They released that game.
They released that game and then said, "Oh, by the way, it's an open beta," and then removed the game. And then, do we know what it was developed in originally? Because I'm noticing that now that it is coming back, it has been rewritten in Unreal, but it was not Unreal before.
I don't know. Maybe it was Unity.
It might have been on.
It might have been Unity, but I guess it's finally coming back. So
I can't imagine
this.
It's hard to imagine caring, you know.
Yeah.
This collab is a bunch of trading cards with all the characters on them.
Yeah.
Just very funny for it to happen while this game was shut down.
Oh, it was in Unreal 4, and they ported it to Unreal 5 in the literally, it has at this point been, it will be almost an entire calendar year before it comes back online.
I see.
People,
That's insane.
Like, they let people buy microtransactions in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just killed it?
Yeah, they just shut it down.
That's crazy.
So cool. You know. Fun.
That's fine. Listen, you shouldn't play. Listen, just play Smash Brothers. Don't play Smash Brothers knockoffs. Sorry.
No one has yet succeeded in making a good Smash Brothers knockoff.
Now I've heard Nickelodeon All-Star Battle is pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not Smash Brothers.
But it doesn't have the voices.
No, they did in 2. They put the voices in.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. But still doesn't have Cloud and Sephiroth though.
That's right. It's gotta have Cloud and Sephiroth.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Sephiroth stab SpongeBob.
I want Sephiroth in everything now.
It does have
that.
It does have Mr. Krabs though.
Mr. Krabs is not Sephiroth.
Yeah.
What do we think is the over/under on in the next calendar year? Fortnite announces they're making their own internal to Fortnite Smash Brothers knockoff.
I was really hoping you were going to ask what the chances are of a Fortnite Final Fantasy VII crossover.
I'm honestly surprised it hasn't happened. To be
Me too. That's what I'm saying.
After First Soldier shut down, probably higher than it used to be.
Well, because you have to keep in mind too, like when 7 came out on PC, it was Epic exclusive for a little bit, wasn't it?
I think it might.
No, it was just Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, right, it was Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 7 came right to Steam.
The only thing I could wonder is that we did get an FF7 event in Apex, and I wonder if there's like exclusivity for that kind of thing. Right?
Maybe. What was the FF7 thing in Apex?
A bunch of costumes, like in the way that
they put the gear
Overwatch just had for Cowboy Bebop.
No, we've got to get Sephiroth and Cloud and Tifa into Fortnite.
Yes. Oh, if you get a Tifa skin in Fortnite, fucking forget it. $2 million instantly day one.
Yeah, exactly. It's over.
People are still begging for them to put Chun-Li and Cammy back in the fucking microtransaction store because they haven't run in like a year and a half.
I just think it'd be cute if they went the not so big hitters route, and they were just like, you get to play as skins of Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Because they all wield guns anyway.
Yeah, they've all got guns.
It'd be cute, but they're never gonna do it.
I know. That should be the second. That should be the second round. I know.
I'm sorry, no one's going to buy those. I love them, but no one's going to buy them.
I would. Don't ruin my dreams.
The one person who would buy it is Oates, and that's good.
And that's good. But how many people would buy Tifa or Sephiroth or Cloud?
Too many.
Too many. It'd make too many dollars.
It would make a more $1 billion.
The thing is, though, Final Fantasy VII is made in Unreal, right? You can just take those models and just put them in Fortnite. You can probably just stick them in.
I would be interested to see what they would look like.
I think they should do the extremely high-res Final Fantasy VII Remake models. I
don't think they would be, if only because Fortnite does have to run on Switch.
Boo. Well, that's why it should run like shit.
I think it would be. I think it would be the most accurate thing that they would do, because it's very Fortnite, is attempting to do like a cell-shaded pastiche of Nomura's original art of them.
That'd be cute.
Ooh,
so they're all kind of like frumpy looking. With like
it would be great if they were all like the PS1 models.
Yeah,
with cell shading filters on. Just the limit break models or whatever, so it's like the appropriate proportions, but it's still just like super blocky PS1 shit. I love that
idea.
Next, a Willy Wonka-esque chocolate experience advertised with AI-style images turned out to be an absolute shambles.
This is one of those
all over again.
Yeah, every time I saw images of these, I'm just like, this is a mirror into a pathetic, disgusting version of reality that I don't want to acknowledge exists.
Yeah, it's very funny. The whole story is extremely fun. They call the cops on the organizers, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. the thing that baffles me, about this entire thing is that, you try to set up this experience. People were fucking posting it like it's like fucking the fucking SpongeBob episode of Krabby World.
Yeah.
All I saw was Cheapy the Cheapskate. But it's like, okay, so you have this thing that you are clearly way under budget for, right? Like you are not prepared for this actual thing. Why did you go ahead with all the weird things the AI script jammed into it?
Because they didn't read it. They literally just let it print. And they didn't actually read the AI script.
They had to have rehearsed it
they didn't.
Gotten costumes when
No.
you're wholesale inventing a weird Willy Wonka monster.
Ben, you overestimate the degree to which anyone who like AI generates a script for performance puts literally any effort into the production of said performance.
Zero thought went into this. They were literally just like, they had an AI make the script and make all the art that they hung on the walls and all of the advertisements, and that was probably it.
Ben, Ben, we know this for a fact. They only gave them enough candy that they were able to dole out one jelly bean per person.
Yeah. There was like nothing. Yeah. No, they were not prepared.
You had to at some point.
No.
Tell someone to go to the store to buy the costume for the unknown.
Yeah, but like that. But there weren't. I know for a fact there weren't any like rehearsals or anything, because people literally just showed up that morning to work as Oompa Loompas and shit, right? Like, there were no rehearsals. The most there probably was somebody saying, like, hey, we need you to make this, like, cheap costume from, like, Party City supplies, right? Like, that's it. Like, it was super last minute and very cheap and extremely funny, ultimately.
I think it's they called the cops.
They called the cops.
Your event, like someone saying your event was so bad they called the police, is Achewood dialogue.
This is something that would happen to roast beef, but again, put it to this is a lay on some bitches production.
This is
what I'm saying.
This is a Todd incident. Remember that time Todd tried to be Willy Wonka and he did it so bad someone called the cops on him?
He only gave out a jelly bean to a single kid.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. It's really funny though. It's extremely funny.
I appreciate the power of an event this bad to inspire great works of art.
That's correct.
Like the way the internet took The Unknown by storm.
And just ran with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Just like, yeah, you know what? I can believe there's a weird mirror ghost in the chocolate factory.
Sure, yeah, why not?
We'll develop lore for this character.
We'll do it all on our own with blackjack and hookers. But we don't have enough money for the blackjack and the hookers.
We'll start shipping the meth lab Oompa Loompa with The Unknown.
Why not? Absolutely.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Props to her, by the way, for just trying her damnedest.
Hey, listen. Everybody except the organizers was trying. But you can only do so much with so little, as it turns out. That's the moral of the story, is that any and all AI-generated content will, in fact, make you crash and burn and suffer.
I love looking at the pictures of the actual event and just seeing, like, backdrops that are not to scale with the wall they're mounted on.
No, not at all. Not even slightly. They didn't even try.
Yeah.
In beautiful, scenic Glasgow.
Not even a hint of attempting to get that to match.
My ancestral home letting me down.
That's right.
Oh, God. Next, Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu will utterly fold and pay $2.4 million to settle its lawsuit.
Oh, well, it's still always ethical to pirate from Nintendo, and you should do it even more so than ever now.
As always, for anyone else who is doing fun projects with Nintendo IPs, remember to heed the immortal wisdom of Woolly Wools. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck
Shut
up.
the fuck up!
And also,
Shut the fuck up.
Don't try and make money off it.
Yeah, okay, like, listen. I'm not saying it is wrong to do it. I'm saying you shouldn't do it.
If you do the things that let you get taken to court over it, you are an idiot.
Yeah.
You should do it.
The thing is, I think people who make the emulators and like they actually should make money because they're doing like actual important game preservation that the fucking like the ghouls who run these companies are definitely not doing. That being said, don't put the link to your Patreon on your emulator website.
Yeah.
Like put it on your Twitter. Don't do that.
Like have it be a donation to you personally. And not to Yuzu. We make the emulator.
Yeah, you definitely have to put a think like a CEO.
That's right.
You have to put up at least a single barrier between you and the money you shouldn't have.
There has to be the ghost of plausible deniability so that you don't end up having to pay the Nintendo Corporation several $1 million.
It's the same logic as modding in FF14, right?
Right.
On the book, all modding in FF14 is illegal. If you say I mod FF14, it doesn't matter what it is, they ban your account if there's plausible proof.
Right.
The thing is is that it's about plausible proof. And they don't have a way on their back end to track when people are like doing texture mods or using the auto bard thing that lets you do cool MIDI arranged music or whatever. What they can track is when you message your friends in game like, yeah, I love installing mods and using mods. This is the mod I'm using right now. If you do that and get your account banned, you're an idiot. You did that to yourself.
Right.
Look, they're not looking. But if you do it
trying to draw attention.
If you do it in front of them, they're gonna have to look.
Right. It's like school rules.
Yeah. So
just you can break the rules as much as you want, as long as the teachers don't see you.
Right.
But if you do it so that the teachers can see you, you're going to get in trouble, right? That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying that Nintendo is in the right for taking this down or for suing them or demanding all this money. Definitely not. No. Emulation should be free and wild for the sake of preservation and also because Nintendo doesn't fucking sell their games anymore.
Right.
But they're gonna do it.
That's right.
So don't get caught.
Exactly.
Don't do the thing that will make it harder for anyone else who wants to start a 3DS emulator from getting that off the ground.
Don't get caught is the most important thing. Like,
yeah,
that's rule number 1 is don't get caught.
That's why the immortal wisdom.
Yeah,
shut the fuck
up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't talk about it. Just distribute it and then shut up.
If Kotaku writes an article about your thing, you gotta shut it down immediately and change your branding and burn your mailing list and start again.
There was an article recently where someone from like Kotaku or something was interviewing someone in the industry, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so how does the marketing team work?" Like, "Oh yeah, we look for articles like you guys write, and we know what to shut down." And the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah. Shut up.
Maybe
shut
Kotaku,
up.
You should shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
But the thing is, if Kotaku comes calling about your cool project, tell them to pound sand.
Yeah.
Don't answer questions. They're not going to run the story if you don't talk to them about it. So shut the fuck up.
Like, I get it. You want to get the word out so people can see your thing exists. But when you do that, Nintendo can also see that your thing exists.
Exactly.
There's a guy at Nintendo who gets paid $95,000 a year minimum to just troll Kotaku, seeing when they put up a new article about your thing that exists.
Exactly.
And then he goes to your website to see if you have foolishly attached payment information to your website so that they can credibly sue you for infringing on their copyrights or this, that, or the other.
Right.
So put up a single line of barrier between it. Put your Patreon on your personal account.
Right, and don't fucking draw attention to it on your emulator page.
Here's my secret tip. Are you ready? Disconnected completely from any indication that it's to support your financial endeavors in developing an emulator for Nintendo games. Just start an OnlyFans. Post pictures of your toe beans on there if you gotta, but just start an OnlyFans and have it be understood that is in fact the way you should support me if you want me to continue doing things.
Right.
What those things may be, nominally, it's whatever I'm putting on the OnlyFans website, and I definitely don't do anything else that I'm taking money for.
Exactly.
Team 4-Star had to be 100% explicit, saying donations to our Patreon do not fund the production of more DBZA.
Exactly.
That's not what it's for. It's for funding The Office and the other projects we do that are not connected to Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Because this is a non-profit fan-based parody.
Exactly.
That's correct.
That's what you gotta do. You can't be like, this Patreon is for getting you cool features for our emulator. Wrong. Incorrect.
Wrong.
Don't tell the cops you're selling meth.
You have just made it very easy for a lawyer to tell you to suck it down. Like, you just can't do it. You have to have a little common sense. Just a little restraint. You have to be coy. You have to be like an English high society noble going, I couldn't possibly know what you're talking about.
And don't show any goddamn ankle. It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Even if you're trying to be flirty.
Hustle.
No ankle.
No ankle. All right, what's next?
Next, finally some good news.
Mm-hmm.
Chrono Trigger director asks what fans would want in a remake.
Literally nothing except make it look like Live Alive and fucking what's the one with the stupid name? Octopath Traveler.
Octopath
Thank
Traveler.
you. Yeah. Make it look like that.
Yeah,
and that's it. Don't touch it otherwise. Right?
So here's the quote from Kitase.
Mm-hmm.
From Yoshinori Kitase. Quote, if players were to play this game today, what would be the most favorable way in which it was presented? Would it be something like that's just directly as is from before on a modern platform console? Or is it something like where the graphics are remastered? Or is it something like Final Fantasy VII Remake where the game design and visuals are completely revamped and updated to meet the modern trends?
Now,
you know what?
Here's the thing, Kitase. We know that you could not... FF7 barely got the time and money to have FF7 Remake. Chrono Trigger, God love it, it's not going to get that.
No.
Look, you're either going to live it, or, God willing, if you are desperate to make it look different than the way it was before, you have that game be exactly the same, but you have Vanillaware do the art for it. That's it. That's all that's allowable.
You know what I do want to see, though?
What's that, Ben?
Just do... the 2015 or 2013. When was FF7 Remake first announced?
2015.
2015. It was later.
Just do the 2015 tech demo for Chrono Trigger. I want to see you try that.
You're asking too much. They're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. That would cost like $50 million by itself.
I'm of the opinion it would be insanely fun if they did a they split the difference and they did a PSX style demake. So it looks like Chrono Cross.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because my honest opinion would be it would be really cool if they did the Final Fantasy VII Remake thing of being a meta narrative with a series about time travel by making it a Chrono Trigger.
I think it would be really fun to get a version of Chrono Trigger that looks like Chrono Cross, which is, of course, as we all know, the most beautiful video game of all time.
Well, I was going to say, if at that point, what the industry really needs is a return to the 80s style thing of art of game developer is like these 10 people we found. What you do is you do your PS1 style demake of Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger, whichever. Mm. Either one, maybe both. And you just have the people who did Anodyne make it.
Yeah.
Because you look at Anodyne 2, and that's like a PS1 Dreamcast game.
Yeah.
And that game's made by like 2 people.
That's it.
I think you could just be like, we're gonna make the game look like Chrono Cross, and then it's also a secret Chrono Cross remake.
Mhm.
That's right.
And they just mold the games together.
Yes, and you just get a small crack team of weirdos who make internet video games, and you just get them to do it. You get them, you get the two people that made Signalis, you get the weird guy who made Fear and Hunger. Like, you can assemble a crack team of weirdos to do your Chrono Trigger remake really easily.
I just think the thing, like, if they want to do it like Live Alive, I think the thing that would put me in the dirt is the idea of Chrono Trigger with voice acting. Like, I would not be able to comprehend a voice actor reading these lines that I've been obsessed with for most of my life. Who would you fucking cast?
Ooh, that's a question.
Like, who would Alex Lee play?
Who knows? I don't know if I would want a voice-acted Chrono Trigger, honestly.
I do think the other thing is that if you make the update from Chrono Trigger to, like, Chrono Cross looking, it also solves the very big problem that's kind of hanging over all of our heads, which is you can't really do a remake of the art anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing, and this is the thing that's going to be true for Dragon Quest as well. Yes, it does remain tragic that Toriyama is gone. There is a guy whose entire artistic career has just been kind of like doing something in a Toriyama pastiche and working directly with Toriyama to do Toriyama art.
You could get Toyotaro to do it.
He would do it. I'm confident that guy would do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like almost at this point, like, I know that we want Toriyama art with all Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger style stuff, but like, Toriyama's passed on. I don't like Toyotaro's art as much. Sorry. Like, I know he very much wants to be Toriyama, but he's not. And yeah, I think this is like when we start thinking about maybe getting different artists to like see a different take on this stuff, because I think that's neat.
And like
I feel like Dragon Quest, if anything, is going to likely continue down the route of just like the Toriyama style is our house style. We're just going to continue doing that.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger, at least, if you were to do a modern Chrono Trigger remake, it's not exactly like you could do Chrono Trigger with another artist and be like, it's our new take on Chrono Trigger because everyone wanted a new take on Chrono Trigger, and this is what we can do now all these years later.
There's also like Chrono Cross had a different artist.
Yeah,
like
right,
a different
exactly.
art style. So like it would be more appropriate and thematic for it to go, hey, we got the Chrono Cross artist to do Chrono Trigger stuff, you know?
Right. It's easy peasy.
There's numerous ways you can go with it. I think they would be smart to, at least in the sense of remake, of diverge the story in a significant way, because it is a game about time travel. Like, that's the time you do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there are definitely a lot of things you can do with that. The point is they should just do it.
They should just
remake Chrono Trigger already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm getting sick of these remakes not being Chrono Trigger.
Any Chrono Trigger re-release or remake would sell immaculately, I believe.
That's correct. It would just move numbers. Yeah, exactly.
Like I said in a podcast a while ago, they've done Live Alive, they've done Mario RPG. There's only one left.
Yeah, Secret of Evermore. Idiot.
Oats.
They're gonna do Evermore before Chrono Trigger.
Oats, if Evermore gets in before Chrono Trigger,
I would be happy because Evermore actually got, like Secret of Evermore numero uno.
Secret Evermore mentioned.
Also, the Live Alive aside, like it being the cool HD 2D remake or whatever, like failing that, if you don't want to do HD 2D for some reason, that Unity remake of Super Mario RPG also pretty good.
Yeah,
also pretty fucking good. Exactly.
I don't think anyone's gonna balk if you do like a version of like, hey, it's Chrono Trigger and it plays exactly like Chrono Trigger, but we're doing like little like claymation looking 3D models now because that's easier for us to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that Link's Awakening remake, all diorama style.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that'd be good too. I like that.
Yeah, that game would sell 1 million easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, there's just so many possibilities. There's just so.
They should do it.
I fucking love Chrono Trigger so much.
I'd love to
Make
play that
money.
game with my own hands.
Yeah, that's easy money. Do it.
God, as much as I love Kingdom Hearts for sure, Chrono Trigger has always been number 2 for me. Like it's just so good.
It's just so good. Is the thing. It's
love
still a great video game.
I adore every inch of Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. I haven't played that game since I was like when it came out on Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to replay that game with good load times instead of bad load times.
I played it on the DS the last time.
That's a good way to play
really
it.
good.
That's actually a really
DS
good
remake
game.
is the DS port of Chrono Trigger is the way to play that game right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, oh man, maybe it'll happen. Maybe we'll get some announcements soon. Next, Rooster Teeth shut down by Warner Brothers Discovery. The Roost Podcast Network to continue.
I am honestly surprised that this took as long as it did.
Yeah. Their quality of their content aside, all the major figures in Rooster Teeth have been involved in this or that horrible controversy in the last several years.
Yeah.
I'm frankly shocked it took this long.
The cast has dwindled. People have left constantly.
Also, I need you to understand, I don't know if you realize this, I only learned it when Rooster Teeth shut down. At some point, they got a new logo that was awful in comparison to like their classic that's just like a rooster and some teeth, like some cartoon teeth, right? They got like the worst logo it looks like a fucking like it looks like something you'd see on like a fucking political poster.
It looks like startup shit. Yeah.
It looks like a bad baseball logo.
It's that's so
dog
bad.
shit.
Yeah.
It sucks ass. Why would you replace your... They deserve it. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Like, when I saw their new logo, I was like, oh, you deserved it. Okay, for sure. You deserve to get shut down by Warner Brothers because of, like all of your bad decisions.
They have Rooster Teeth has said that Red vs. Blue Season 19 will continue. Mm-hmm. But it'll be the last thing they work on. There's talks of selling off Ruby to another company.
Sure.
There are plenty of people who have worked with Ruby before who I'm sure would love to just own it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I imagine that trying to sell off the rights to Red vs. Blue is tricky.
What you do is you take Red vs. Blue back to its roots before you let it get way too complicated and added all these like custom animated shits. You just make it in fucking Halo and put it on YouTube for free, right? That's how you keep doing
it. It used to be on YouTube for free, and they took it down, which is probably part of the reason why viewership plummeted, is because it was no longer available for free on YouTube.
Yeah, it turns out when you walled garden your content so that people have to pay to watch it, less people watch it. And then less people talk about it because it's a walled garden. And then less people watch it because it's no longer relevant. Yeah. And then you die.
So I'm not surprised that they're getting... This is like the only shutdown that Warner Brothers has done so far that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, okay, we actually have to give you that one. All right.
Like, I'm not... I do think it's funny that to give you an idea of how irrelevant they've become, Pat and Wooly had to be like, no, Cast of Super Beast will continue. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They were technically hosted by Rooster Teeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, because the old Two Best Friends play was Machinima.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had that shit locked together for quite a while, but I will say it is very funny. We were doing a little bit of fussing with the Dragon Dogma 2 character creator, right? And they mentioned ahead of that coming out, like, oh yeah, we have some content creators who are getting like official pawns put in that are just like pawns that are based off them. And when Pat was streaming it, someone asked Pat if he was in this thing. He's like, and he was very point blank. He's like, "Nah, I'm not that kind of famous, right? Like, I'm not that tier of content creator." Wooly Wolves has an official one. It's not.
No, that's
No, that makes sense. That one tracks.
Yeah, no,
it's so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, Wooly absolutely is. Wooly is the shut the fuck up guy, you know?
Yeah,
and also more than being shut the fuck up guy, he is the face of I skipped having sex with 2 bisexuals so I could play Marvel.
Yeah. I always was thinking about the difference between the 3 of them post 2 best friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Matt has become a fairly successful video essayist. Like, he's popular enough. He can coast on that fame.
Sure.
He's not exactly groundbreaking, but like, he's still got, he gets thousands of hits a day.
Sure.
And Wooly has become like a pretty well set up Twitch streamer with him and Reggie, and like they've got different shows they do. They've got different, fires and whatnot. They do their get into fighting games thing and all that. And Pat's just Pat.
That's right. He's just Pat.
Pat's got an office that he streams from. There's no decorations or merch behind him.
I remember when RE4 remake came out, and he was playing it relatively early, and he kept having stress in the stream. No, I traveled to New Zealand so I could play this game early. I'm in New Zealand right now. Peach is calling me from Canada. I'm in New Zealand, and it's like very obviously still just in his office.
Yeah. What a king.
Like, Wooly's got like the neon lights behind him, the LEDs and stuff, and it's like, and he's always got his hair and all that. And then Pat's just in an office chair.
He's just a streamer. That's just his thing. He just pays his bills by streaming. Good for him. What that we all could.
He has no desire to develop a persona out of it. He's just Pat.
Oh god, no. He's just Pat. He's just Pat.
He tried to make himself in Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator while showing that
off. He couldn't make himself short enough.
He couldn't make himself short enough, A. B, he also gave himself a Lalafell body type and a gigantic ass.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just looking at the Rooster Teeth store right now. Mm-hmm. Just I was curious about it. There's no Red versus Blue merchandise anymore. Like, they're all sold out of all their stuff, and that's a bummer. That's actually kind of a bummer.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
That, like,
this was always going to happen after everything basically collapsed in on itself because half the people there fucking suck.
Yeah, and everyone, like, there were so many horror stories that came out of Rooster Teeth. Listen, I do love Red versus Blue.
Sure.
I was planning on pirating season 19 anyway, so fuck them.
Absolutely. Fuck them.
But it's like, you guys suck, but it's a shame this show I like is gonna be dead.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna pay for it anyway, so whatever. Speaking of shows that could probably be bad.
Oh no.
New Fallout TV series trailer reveals just how much of the game is in the show.
I'm tentatively excited.
I think it looks pretty good. This trailer looks pretty good.
Isn't Kyle MacLachlan supposed to be in it?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, after you're done getting familiar with Dale Cooper, you'll get to meet Dale Cooper again as a Vault Overseer, I believe.
Yeah, I am like, the fact that the showrunner like recently was like, we didn't make the show to appease the fans. I was like, oh, it's gonna be good then. Okay,
yeah, okay.
I see. Okay.
I mean,
maybe someone will take that attitude with that property and it be good instead of Bethesda, where every time they say that, it's just an excuse to put the Enclave somewhere they don't belong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or put super mutants like way too early in the timeline. Yeah, exactly.
The in the trailer, like the sets and stuff we've seen are really good looking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The show's got money. Like, I think it looks pretty good.
Like as far as like it's that good thing of like, oh yeah, that looks like Fallout. Mm-hmm. That looks like what a Fallout show should look like.
Yeah.
You know?
My favorite thing is looking at what appears to be one of the Master's centaurs, just driving up out of like a gross toxic pond, and realizing instantly, oh, this is going to be good because that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in Fallout.
I think this looks great. I hope it ends with a game announcement. I hope at the end of the fucking show they're like, also, new Fallout game, not by Bethesda. We just put a gun to Obsidian's head.
We said you're not developing the Outer Worlds anymore. You're making a new Fallout, and we pointed the gun at them loudly until they complied.
That's right. You don't have a choice. Every now and then, this whole Microsoft buyout thing is good because it means you can make Obsidian stop making a game I don't care about to make a game I do care about.
Phil Spencer just red and sweating, like, listen to me, you fucks. No one wants to play your Space Tuna Can game. Make another Fallout!
Shaking them.
Space Tuna Can.
Space Tuna game. Yeah.
Where's Josh Sawyer? Get him in here!
I like the idea of Phil Spencer just kind of becoming J. Jonah Jameson, right?
It would be a significant boon to his charisma. If he didn't seem like a gamer uncle and instead was J. Jonah Jameson, I would give him a lot more rope.
I need pictures of Vault Boy.
It's not libel, it's slander.
Oh, God.
But no, you get this trailer like shows like a lot of good, interesting things that are like, yeah, this, I would change this if I were doing a Fallout show. I would not change this, right?
Right.
Like, the vault suits look great.
Vault suits look great. Power armor looks good now that they've had some more time to work on it.
Yeah.
I don't care that the power armor helmet's open. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Nobody in, like, the most famous Brotherhood paladins in literally every single Fallout game are the ones who don't wear their helmets. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right?
No, like yeah, I saw people complain about that, and I'm like, this isn't like the Mandalorian or Master Chief. Like,
right.
The reason that like the iconic full suit of power armor exists is because you, the player, are ambiguous.
Right.
Every other main character in power armor has that helmet off.
Yeah, like all of the most popular fucking Brotherhood characters are the ones who take their helmets off.
Yeah.
So you can see their faces. Veronica literally runs around New Vegas without her goddamn power armor, period.
Yeah.
Like,
Paladin Dance never wears his helmet.
Exactly. Like, nobody is going to make these fucking characters cover. Like, even in 76, nobody is wearing their helmets because all of the ones you care about, you want to see their faces, right?
Yeah, I'm wearing my helmet in 76.
Exactly.
Well,
like,
that's because
your helmet, your fucking helmet is psychotic. You're different.
Yeah, they should make more power armor look like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All I'm saying is Pippi is an object head.
That's right.
Pippi's gender.
Pippi's just a demon. There's a difference.
Pippi has to be an object head because otherwise you'd realize the thing in that suit isn't a human anymore.
Exactly.
The face mask has to lift off because you ain't getting those arms up there.
No, that's literally not how that works.
The power armors that, like, with a lot of like complaints about the way it looks, is like, y'all don't understand the fact that you cannot actually wear the Fallout 4 power armor. It is not designed to be wearable by humans. They fucked up really badly.
Why do you think the models inside the power armor turn into fuck up, like, Slender Man monsters?
Yeah, they're not just trying to hide them inside the armor. They're dealing with the fact that they made that suit to fit wrong.
Yeah,
like if you want to make that suit work, you have to make the arm gussets go like 3/4 of the way down the torso. That's the only way.
Ghouls look great. Wow.
I think the ghouls look good.
This is like, that's how you would adapt a ghoul.
Yeah, I think the ghouls look great. I mean, I think everything about the show looks really good. I hope it's well written. Yeah. And you know what? Like, if it is, cool. We get a major W, and maybe that means we get a good Fallout game again. I don't know.
Everything about the visuals I've seen so far seems really encouraging. So, like, hey, if it's actually also good, then cool, I'll watch it.
The only problem that we personally can have with the Fallout show is we might get a really bad takeout out of it.
Exactly.
Because if it's good, then...
we're not going to talk over it.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're just going to watch it and be like, ooh, this is good, actually. That's the whole episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm excited for the Fallout TV show. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Or I'm at least cautiously optimistic, I suppose I should say.
It could be good.
I love that line in the trailer where it's like, everyone wants to save the world, but they can't agree on how. Because that's Fallout, baby.
That's Fallout, baby.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. I am pumped.
That's next month.
I know, that's April, baby. That's close.
It's so close. I'm excited.
Next, we do have to talk about this. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama dies at 68.
Yeah.
Did we not? Did this
No.
not happen before at the end of our last episode?
No, this was
No, we've
last
been gone
week.
for like 3 weeks.
Oh right. Oh,
Yeah,
it was
we
when we
never-
were streaming or something.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
we streamed when we talked about it when we like the day after it got announced. But yeah,
Cannot really be overstated. Aside from my earlier comments about like art styles and this or the other, art styles being irrelevant, no one will simply do it like Toriyama did it.
no,
That's correct.
you
like-
don't get him. I mean, I'll say it, modern Renaissance man.
Right.
Well,
He's
it's
just
the
good at
thing-
everything.
And like, I can't admit to like, I'm not gonna like pretend to be like the most like aware or with it person on all the minutia around like manga and manga critique and like what's culturally and historically relevant or whatever. But like for Toriyama, I can really only think of one other person who would even be in the ballpark in terms of being influential, and I still think Toriyama probably takes it over him for being more so.
Who?
And that would be Tezuka.
Even
Yeah.
and
Even
Tezuka,
Tezuka said that like Toriyama was like his successor.
The guy.
Right?
Yeah,
he was
it's
the
like-
guy.
It's like that's the only guy who is even remotely in competition for simply changing as much of the world and how we perceive media
Mhm.
of a specific kind, or even types of media
Like-
outside that specific kind.
like I'll say a good, being generous, 70% of manga and 100% of shonen manga
Yes,
after Dragon Ball are influenced by Dragon Ball.
that's correct.
The best and most resonant of part of Hunter x Hunter, the keystone thing you read Hunter x Hunter for, is a direct response to Dragon Ball Z.
That's correct.
It is just the Cell arc, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter x Hunter is about that author having problems with the politics of Dragon Ball.
There are so many interviews and like commentaries from creators everywhere where it's like, huh, yeah, he was just Vegeta. Yeah, I just
He
want to
was
make that character
Vegeta,
Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like
Vegeta's Vegeta.
like the entirety like of Sonic 06 with Silver the Hedgehog. They're like in the designer notes. It was the first line is he's Future Trunks.
Yeah, exactly.
Modern copyright law is a shame because what we need desperately for the glory of justice is for a world in which Dragon Ball Z is public domain and we can treat Vegeta like Dracula. You should be able to just
him in
put
everything.
Vegeta in anything
And
and go,
it's-
oh
that's
fuck, that's
right.
a Vegeta.
And
That's right.
It's funny because I saw a lot of people saying like, yeah, I don't even think of Goku as an anime character. He's like a myth. He's like Hercules to me.
Yeah, he's just Goku. Like everybody knows Goku.
All the people who talk about Marvel movies being like modern myths are full of shit because they're not Goku.
Yeah, no, it's just him. Like
Yeah,
I can't,
like-
I can't think of any other series that was just like, oh yeah, no, everything comes from this now.
Yeah.
Like
The
it's
thing
all
is-
this.
Yeah, the thing is, and it's the thing I always say, my dad in his 60s knows what a Super Saiyan is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, the only thing my parents know about anime is what a Sailor Moon is and what a Super Saiyan is. So I suppose when Takeuchi goes, that'll be the next, like, total devastation of just, like, somebody who totally changed anime as we know it. And God love her, Takeuchi never did the amount of work that Toriyama did, but that's probably for the best for her.
Yeah.
Because, Toriyama died young. So,
No, to be fair, he did not. He was not overworked. He had
No.
a brain injury that.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
it's still just like it's literally Toriyama and Takeuchi who just whose work is the reason anime is a global thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like Western animation, like from 2002 onward,
Mhm.
is always explicitly, oh yeah, I love Takeuchi or Toriyama.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like Dragon Ball and I like Sailor Moon when they were
Every-
airing on Tsunami.
Every anime parody that Western cartoons did
Mhm.
was just Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
The only exception, the only one I've ever seen to that rule, is the entire episode of Dexter's Laboratory that's just Speed Racer.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But even then, you look at all those fight scenes in Dexter's lab. That was Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's because of my understanding is that Tartakovsky is just a gigantic nerd.
Oh, for sure.
He really likes Gundam, and you can tell because most of the time, all of those anime sound effects were from Gundam.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone pointed out, but like there is something kind of darkly poetic about Akira Toriyama dying of a head injury.
Yeah.
Considering that's where Goku got his start.
Right. It's just like, man, I don't know. It's just sad.
It is.
It's just sad.
It's just sad. It was being in your 60s is way too young.
Yeah.
It's really tragic that like 60 is the age at which your brain is just like, nah, man, it's a coin toss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you bump your head, there's just like a 50-50 odds that you're going to be fine or you're going to, die.
Yeah.
So.
And I think in his case specifically, I believe they said that it was, he had a surgery to remove a tumor. Mm-hmm. And that the hematoma is post that, meaning that it's just he didn't recover from the surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's just bad luck. And it's like, fuck, man, what do you do?
That just sucks.
That's
just bad luck.
And he really did have like the ideal retirement where it's just like, he's just going to draw some character designs and write out an outline and then wheedle his way into doing more of it because he wanted to.
Make
and then realize how much of it involves drawing complicated vehicles from multiple angles and going, you know what, maybe, you can make that 3D, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine, yeah, exactly.
That picture, that self-portrait of him, his little Toribot design, where it's him eating senbei crackers and cola.
Uh-huh.
Like smoking a cigarette and looking fit porno.
Yeah, it's like my ideal life. It's him, like it's like porno mag, nori senbei crackers, cigarette, cola, model car, and him going,
that's it.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
That's what we all want to do. That's the dude's rock mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Dudes strive
We're all
for.
Motivated by that dude's rock mentality.
We all want to sit around with our toys
like
and our
that.
snacks and have people ask us our opinions on things.
Yeah,
that's
right.
how that works.
I when the day came that he announced that he passed away, I was upset, obviously, but I was smiling the whole time because my entire feed was just talking about how cool Dragon Ball is, and it's just like
Dragon Ball's cool.
You remember like all the cool things in Dragon Ball and how it influenced them and how like they grew up with it and all these good memories were being shared. And then I read Eiichiro Oda's eulogy.
Oh, I know.
And
it's so sad.
That fucking got me.
It's so sad. It's just the worst. It's just like, man.
That last line of like, I hope heaven is the world is like the world he created.
Right. Yeah. And just to be like, have your like manga creating idol, like be your friend is like the coolest thing, right?
Yeah.
I think the saddest one that I read was the guy who did Kinnikuman, because he talked about how like at the time his Dr. Slump and Kinnikuman was like getting started, and so they kind of turned into shonen rivals because they were directly competing for basically like top billing at the time, and as a result they went from being kind of like friendly rivals to like kind of estranged and stopped talking to each other, and he always regretted that, and I was just like, that's really sad to think about.
Yeah.
Toriyama is definitely like, people always like, there's always like someone died in the news today or whatever, and it's sad. But I think Toriyama's the first time in a while where it's like you hear someone pass and go, it's the end of an era.
Yeah,
it's all over.
To quote Akewood, he was your Elvis, and when your Elvis dies, so does that part of you that thinks the world could get better.
Right. Yeah, it's just sad. It's tragic, and everybody. I mean, God knows everybody was crazy to see like even like fucking the president of France.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tragedy that Akira Toriyama died. And it's like, that's right. No, you're better as Macron.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Biden has been silent this whole time.
Silence.
Yeah.
The silence speaks volumes.
The Biden administration has said nothing
Biden will rush millions of dollars of weaponry to support a genocide, but will not say even one word for a character.
Not even one
Not
word for a
yeah.
And we know
territorial.
that is because Goku is the first character in anything to be simultaneously both Brazilian and a Palestinian Muslim.
That's correct. I still remember that time that guy was in the Discord who got mad that we posted the Muslim Goku, and like everybody in the Discord instantly ran him off. We're like, I don't think you know where you are, homie.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a funny day.
That was a great day.
Yeah. You got stuff like everyone in Xenoverse, just like when Miura died, all of the Dark Knights would line up in the streets in 14.
Yeah.
Everyone in Xenoverse had switched to the Turtle Hermit Gi, and we're just doing the Spirit Bomb animation in the lobby. Just holding your hands. Because everyone's tried to do a Kamehameha, okay?
Right.
Everyone wants to know if they are secretly the one who could.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I learned something fun about the Kamehameha.
What?
And how it's different from the Hadoken, actually. When you do it, when you're doing the pose, whichever foot you have forward, that if that hand is underneath, that's the Kamehameha. The Hadoken is the other way around.
Oh, so it's about like hand rotation.
You're leading foot and leading hand. If your leading hand is underneath, that's the Kamehameha. If your leading hand is on top, that's the Hadoken.
I see. I can visualize.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So very, very tragic. We've truly lost like one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Rip to a real one.
yeah. That man died doing everything he loved. Without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, reading porno mags.
Eating porno
Yeah.
and smoking cigarettes and drawing cool robots, which, like, whom amongst us, right?
And it is such a shame. I don't know how far along Daima is, but I love that it started and it's going to end with Kid Goku.
Right.
Well, that's coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, we don't know for sure if that's ending with Kid Goku. I think they mentioned that that's like the first plot line.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like the first series started with Kid Goku. The last series is going to end. Is going to start with Kid Goku.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
It all leads back to that. And
I hope Aurelia shows up again. I miss her.
Oh, that'd be great. The other one that did get me really bad was Masako Nozawa's eulogy.
Yeah.
Or her first comment where she was just like, I can't think about it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how, like, the first thing that Toriyama said to her was, I'm entrusting Goku to you. Rip to a real one.
The realest of real ones.
Yeah. We've got 2 more articles here.
Okay.
Warner Brothers is now erasing games that plans to delist Adult Swim published titles. That's why I bought all you guys Duck Game.
I see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They were like, Duck Game might be delisted, and I'm like,
I saw all the articles where people were like explaining to Warner Brothers, like, can you just transfer it so I own it on Steam? You can just do it because I'm just going to have to re-upload it anyway. You can just do it by this. And they go, no.
Yeah, that's the part that fucking sucks. Is that, like, they won't even, like, it literally, according to devs on Twitter, it's like 2 clicks of a button, and nobody at Warner Brothers Discovery is willing to do that, right?
More and more, it's just becoming clear that, like, Warner Brothers doesn't care about media.
No, they want to get bought. Yeah, they just want to get bought. That's what this is. This is literally just a bid for somebody to purchase them.
Warner Brothers is not an entertainment division. It is an asset. That is all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is just them trying to depreciate enough to become an asset, because no matter how much the price depreciates, when they inevitably shut down and get sold to who the fuck ever, although I think a judge, I think that they were talking about Paramount and Paramount NBC merging with or acquiring WB, and I don't know if it was a judge that said it or if negotiations just fell through because Warner Brothers was still asking for too much money for their catalog. But either way, like, if they sell for $20 billion or if they sell for $2 billion, almost certainly the execs still get the same payouts because it's mandated in their contract, right?
Right.
Like,
so they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. Yeah, no matter what happens, they're still going to get their fucking, like, they're going to get their dues and they're going to get to pull in their golden parachutes and hit the bricks. And then, like, everybody else gets fucked. And it doesn't matter. So they don't care if they keep depreciating the value of the brand because
it literally is irrelevant to them.
It literally is irrelevant to them. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Cool.
Cool.
I love it here.
Fantastic. Give me one last piece of news.
Summer Game Fest 2024 confirms June date.
Okay.
June 7th, 2024.
June 7th, 2024.
That's going to be our new E3.
That's our new E3. It's the Keeleys.
It has the Keeleys have every year thus far continued to violently disappoint. I'm looking forward to being dragged into participating in it again against my will.
That's right. We're going to show up at your house with a gun. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's going to happen because if they announce so many good and useful and important things and like video games that people remember and that actually come out, that happens at the Keeleys.
Happy Keeleys.
We live in hell. This is the worst timeline.
This is a responsible timeline. Bring back E3.
Listen, if it's literally just Friday to Sunday, it has a much better chance of being good.
It won't be, though, because it's not like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft are going to actually go along with Jeff's fucking schedule. One of them's like, we're going to have it in July, and the other one's going to be like, it's going to be in May, and all of you can go fuck yourselves, right?
Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are going to continue to do their own pressers. Summer Games Fest is going to happen whenever it happens, but also, maddeningly, everyone who isn't Summer Game Fest who still wants to do their own thing will also just do their show sometime that month and be a complete waste of time, but still insist that there's something there worth paying attention to.
Here's how we can save it.
Okay.
It's time to light. It's time to make the music, and it's time to light the light. It's time to kick Jeff Keighley smack in the balls tonight.
You're right. We just have the Muppets host the Summer of Gaming.
I think we should do, and it would be unstreamable, but I think we should do it. We should, whenever there's like a presser, we should stream it at the same time as like a show. And just see which one is or like a movie. It's like, oh, it's a 90-minute presser. Let's put on one of the old Dragon Ball movies. Or something,
right. Yeah.
And then just see which one is better at holding our attention.
We've got to do the old Adult Swim gag picture-in-picture thing where we just put like fucking Broly 1 and 2 in the corner of the stream.
Yeah. Be like, this is for all of you who are bored by this. Everyone is watching, we're just watching the worst Dragon Ball movies. Like, at least it's not Summer of Gaming.
We set up the stream. I set up the stream to be horizontal, like a fucking TikTok. The top is Summer Game Fest. The bottom is fucking Broly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I love that plan.
Like those fucking sewer surfers, like ADHD.
We get one of those dog shit 3-lane runner games playing on the side.
Yeah. Be like, which one will hold your attention better? This dog shit 3-lane runner or the Summer of Gaming? And we're all like, go 3-lane runner, go! You can do it.
There's a... we can continue. There's a video I desperately need to find while we're wrapping up that I need to send you after this.
I mean, yeah, that's really about it for the news. Like,
yeah,
things aren't going great.
No, the industry continues to spiral down the toilet extremely quickly, and our only hope of salvation right now is to just keep playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Like I was like hunting for like, is there anything cool
that isn't gonna bum us out? Yeah.
Even a little bit.
This is the anti-year of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This is the year of the lame.
Because I do like to try to balance it out, because when we do these things that it's just majority to like bum out news, like it gets tiring to want to keep
absolutely.
recording. It's hard to be funny and engaging when it's like, oh yeah, the industry is collapsing even further.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know, hey, we're probably gonna get a Dawn Trail release date next week.
Yeah, that can be on the docket.
Yeah, they're gonna get. I know that Yoshi P is gonna be at PAX, like PAX Original, the one in Boston, and they like the Final Fantasy 14 Twitter was like, make sure you put it on your schedule, winky emoji, and we're like, oh okay, I see. I see. So we're probably gonna get a release date.
We're gonna throw a tomato at him.
That's right. I'm gonna drive all the way to Boston to call Yoshi P a hater.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be on the news. Look forward to it.
Just Sarah drawing a gun from her purse, like a test of your reflexes.
Yeah. Why isn't Sarah on this episode of The Gorge? Well, Sarah is in the news in The Gorge. Look forward to that.
She technically is in this episode.
Sarah Shinzo Abe, the guy who makes Final Fantasy 14.
She absolutely thingamajigged him, pulled out a doohickey and everything.
He got got by that doohickey.
She hit him with that gun we just equipped for Barrett.
She had a thing on her phone that played the limit break noise when she drew the doohickey.
She whipped out the whirligig.
She did. Right. She did bring out that fab traption.
This all needs to be stated, people. All parody. Every last word of it. I do not actually intend to harm Naoki Yoshida. Just to throw that out there. However,
we're putting up the big spinning Minecraft dirt block, so you know that this is only being entertained in Minecraft.
You can't thingamajig a person anyway.
You can't think
that's not a verb.
All of this to say, I would, however, drive all the way to Boston to call Naoki Yoshida a hater. That actually would happen.
And then she's going to get him with the gizmo.
No!
The thingamabob. The who's it and what's it.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Gonna dink him with the dongle.
Can I challenge him to a duel in the back alley of a Denny's, like I'm always saying?
Yeah, that's
acceptable.
We throw hands at the Waffle House.
Yeah,
Yoshi P.
Listen, I don't think they have Waffle Houses up there.
That's not going to stop us from trying.
Can we get an actual like a samurai movie or something where there's a moonlit sword draw outside of a Waffle House?
I feel like Saturn. I feel like there's some black tank top movie that does that.
I'm going to mod Fate Samurai Remnant to replace every noodle stop signage with Waffle House.
Waffle House, yeah.
Sarah just needs
with the Berserker against the Waffle House, yeah.
Sarah just needs to get Naoki Yoshida to agree to a duel like fucking Akuma, or it's an agreed upon duel to the death.
That's right, and then that way nobody can put me in prison for it.
Yeah.
If I can just be listen, the only way you can maintain your honor is to fight me to the death outside of this Waffle House in Boston, which definitely exists. Then no matter what happens, you will go out with honor.
I do believe a Boston Waffle House is actually just called a Dunkin' Donuts.
I think so, yeah. I think that's what you...
Yeah, absolutely. That's we'll have to ask our Bostonian correspondent Shia the Poof for that one.
Yeah,
he's also as we discovered mid recording, much like Ben, also in the getting in the starting Twin Peaks minds.
Hooray!
Yes. Oh yes,
good for you.
We've
Shia.
dragged everybody into the Twin Peaks minds, literally just so we can settle the age-old dispute: is the return good or bad?
We will find out once I get to the return.
I already know that my position, not to say things of Ben's opinion that as though I am prognosticating. My position in that episode is going to be highly embattled.
I'm very curious.
They're going to be fighting for their life.
I'm very curious because Sarah and I's taste lines up a good 90% of the time.
But when that 10% doesn't line up.
Yeah, that 10%, there's a lot of variables in there. Now, the thing that's interesting is we've never had a variable where we've actually gotten to a fight about anything.
No. No,
like
we've never
our
fought over anything.
Our variables have always been like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Sure.
So I'm curious to see if that will hold up with the return.
My thinking, and here's my gamble: 75% odds Ben also hates it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is very likely Ben also hates it. 25% odds Ben sees the light and is a fellow brain genius.
Just immediately throws his lot in.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Refresh my memory. Where did Matt McMuscles land on it?
He thinks that Twin Peaks: The Return is a show for people who smell their own farts.
I'm probably gonna like it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the ratio shifted into I might like it a little bit then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely interested to see what you think of Twin Peaks: The Return. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get there first.
But before we get to that,
yes,
we're still streaming Rebirth almost every day.
That's right.
Next Sunday, March 24th.
Okay.
I will be participating in March Caprice, a Kingdom Hearts fan event that lasts all that week.
Okay.
In which I will be streaming for the first time the KH2 randomizer.
Ooh,
I'll
that's
be taking
exciting.
a look at that. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah, so we will take a break from Tetsuya Nomura's wild ride to go on his old wild ride.
That's what I was about to say, to get on the other wild ride.
Yeah, but
exactly.
you know, he put up the new one, but if you go to like Disneyland, you can ride the old one.
The old one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So look forward to
the
that.
Old one anyway.
Oh, was that Oates?
I said you should ride on the old one anyway if you're going to choose between Disneyland and Disney World at this point.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so yeah, stay tuned for more Rebirth. We'll chug our way through that, and
we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I do really want to LP Deadly Premonition at some point after starting Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Maybe after I get done with my OG Final Fantasy VII run through, we'll switch to Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, that'll do it for us. Anyone got anything else they want to talk about real quick?
No.
Okay.
Fuck Nintendo.
Fuck Nintendo.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Well, thank you.
I know we usually end that. I know we usually end the episode with that, but really, fuck Nintendo.
I just have to get it out of my system. We can fuck someone else if we want to. It's free country.
Yeah.
Thank you to DJ Cutman for background music. You can follow us on our social medias and whatnot. Join us in the Discord.
That's right. So you too can chip in on whether or not you think Twin Peaks: The Return is good or bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, patreon.com/thegorge. We've got some stuff lined. We're doing Wizards for takeout, aren't we? That was the plan.
Oh yeah, that's right. We are doing Wizards.
Oh god, fuck! I forgot about take. Oh shit.
Yeah, we gotta cram that in at some point.
You fool!
Good for me. I still have alcohol now, so
we'll work that out as well. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be it. Email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. Discord, patreon.com/thegorge. And yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Fuck Nintendo.
But also, Yuzu, come on, guys. What did you fucking think was gonna happen?
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Fuck Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Unfortunate that Yuzu allowed itself to get fucked by Nintendo. Also.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Unforced error.
That's
like.
Listen, that's an easy L to avoid.
It's not your fault, but come on, man.
Right.
It's one of those you could have made the hustle, but you shouldn't have made it a hustle.
Right.
Yeah. Those Sigma males that are like, would you rather have $10 million right now or a 5-minute conversation with Kanye West?
$10 million. Anyone who says anything else is fucking stupid.
That's right.
It's the fucking meme of $10,000 or a book that says how to win $100 million. Like, should have taken the money, dumbass.
Should have just taken the money, dumbasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.